Good evening, it's 7 p.m, it's Saturday the 20th of April 2024, I'm Ella and we're going back to this hour exactly 60 years ago tonight for our classic clip.
Once again, this opening programme of Channel 2 is coming from the Alexandra Palace newsroom owing to a massive electric failure at the television centre in West London. The Church of Scotland is recommended to stand firm against commercial sport on Sunday. A committee report is not against taking exercise on Sunday, but it recommends serious thought and reading as proper activities. Other jottings in the home notebook: chemists are to get more money from the National Health Service, averaging about £230 extra a year. The National Chamber of Trade claims that 1 in 4 housewives who started collecting trading stamps have given up. The bugle that sounded the charge of the Light Brigade was knocked down at auction for £1,600 today, and it's going back to the cavalry. Hi. Excuse me, just like Channel 1. Hello? Unlike Channel 1, there's nobody there. Some tape handed to me now. Widespread electricity failures reported in London tonight. The power failure halted underground trains. Let's try again. Hello? Yes, I can. Mm-hmm. You're right, you are. Right. Goodbye. As you can imagine, there's a good deal of rushing about going on behind the scenes. The London power failure halted underground trains on the central line between Northolt and West Ruislip. So if anyone's not home yet, perhaps that accounts for it. BBC Television Centre, Shepherd's Bush, blacked out 25 minutes before the scheduled start of BBC2's first programme at 7:20. Well, something has started. That is all for the moment. Later on, we hope, and there's no reason why from Alexandra Palace we shouldn't be able to keep this appointment, we hope to show you a longer news programme, including a first look at the newly arrived Australian cricketers in action. For the time being... Excuse me. Yes? Right. Yes. We are going to repeat this news summary in 1 minute.
Yes, exactly 60 years ago, at 7:20 p.m. BBC2 was set to launch, but as you saw from our clip, the only thing that happened thanks to a large power cut was an impromptu news broadcast from Alexandra Palace. A delighted ITV still annoyed at the death of Grace Archer in the radio soap on the same night as their own launch sent a wreath saying RIP BBC2. Which wildlife presenter was BBC2 controller? Our BBC2 birthday celebrations continue with our Anagram and TV titles rounds. Both these shows were first shown on the channel. Round 4 is mix and match. Pair up these BBC2 quizzes with their presenters. We returned to BBC2's fateful launch night for observation. Adding to the chaos was the new channel's mascot. 2 kangaroos were designed, Hullabaloo and Custard, with the mother and Joey meant to represent BBC's 2 channels. But the power cut left a live kangaroo stuck in a lift. We returned to Gerald Priestland battling against the odds.
And the Beatles have been burgled. George and Ringo lost about £200 over the weekend. Finally, a safety note. After free beer was distributed to workmen at the topping out of the new Nottingham University building, the contractors closed down the site for the rest of the day. A spokesman said the men were rather light-hearted, and it was thought to be in their best interests. The building is 186 feet high. Well, that is all for the moment, I think. Anything else? That's all we have for the moment, but we will be keeping in touch. We apologize for this delay in the start of BBC2.
How many feet high was the Nottingham University building? Even though we are celebrating BBC2's 60th, not all the shows in channel hopping tonight started on the channel. That would be far too easy. So were these first shown on any BBC, any ITV or any other channel? That's the quiz, so let's check your answers. David Attenborough was the BBC2 controller. He left unhappy he couldn't make programs himself. Boys from the Black Stuff was the drummer in the Anagram. The Black Stuff being that they worked as Tarmacus. And to our titles.
Here's a house. Here's a door. Windows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready to knock? Turn the lock. It's play school.
It was Play School, shown the morning after BBC2's failed and aborted launch. It became the first proper programme on the channel. The launch proper then followed that night. For the quizzes, Paul Collier hosted Catchword, Martin Lewis Today's the Day, and Richard Osman has hosted more than 7 series of House of Games. And back to the launch night one last time.
And the Beatles have been burgled. George and Ringo lost about £200 over the weekend. Finally, a safety note. After free beer was distributed to workmen at the topping out of the new Nottingham University building, the contractors closed down the site for the rest of the day. A spokesman said the men were rather light-hearted, and it was thought to be in their best interests. The building is 186 feet high.
It was 186 foot. Two's Company was an ITV sitcom first shown in 1975. Two of a Kind was Morecambe and Wise's second TV series and shown on ITV in 1961. Their first running wild on BBC led to one review that said, TV, the box that buried Morecambe and Wise. 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps was first shown on BBC2 in 2001. We had to have one from the channel. More vintage TV questions here, and don't forget to subscribe. Happy birthday BBC2. Night night.